What's going on, everybody? We are diving into Thursday night football. Let's take a look at this slate. We got the Commanders at Lambeau taking on the Packers. If we go ahead and take a look here, we got a 3-point spread in favor of the Packers with an over under of 48 and a half. Um, Obviously, money seems to be on the Packers to cover here, which it's tough to say. Commanders did not look great against the Giants on opening week. Packers looked outstanding against the Lions. Was that just kind of first week hiccups for the Commanders? Did the Packers know they were coming out against, the defending 15-2 Lions? We'll see. This will definitely tell us a lot about these two teams in the future, depending on how this game goes. It could be the Packers knew what was coming out. They knew they were going against the Lions. They were all hyped for it. And that just portrayed onto the field. The Lions were figuring out a new offensive coordinator, trying to get settled back in with no Brent Johnson. Maybe that's just kind of formulated. The Commanders, lackluster Giants team, maybe weren't coming out as pumped or excited. This could be a kind of a wake up call game for them where they're like, no, we're still the same Commanders that we saw last year. Jaden Daniels is taking a step in the right direction. Tough to call here. If I wanted to go a game total here, what I'm going to try to do is do a game total and a some player props for you. But let's take a look at what the team totals are at. Team totals, Commanders at 22 and a half, but they had the Packers at 26 and a half. And that gives you your 48, but that under 26 and a half for the Packers, I think is going to be our play here. I didn't even realize they did touchdowns. That's kind of cool. I think that's going to be our gameplay. That 26 and a half for the Packers. If this was plus, maybe, but I think at the normal straight up odds, 26 and a half at minus 115, that is probably going to be our play, our gameplay here. The only other, where is half props? Let me see. They got plus 2.5 on the half line, and they have plus 3 for the full game, which just seems interesting. Over under, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. That's tight, but not, I'm not loving it on the first half totals there. So I think I am sticking with Green Bay under 26 and a half team points, a team total. So I think that's what we're rocking with for the game pick. Now let's take a look here and see. Let's start with TD scores. Josh Jacobs is on 10 straight games scoring a touchdown for the Packers. So that's definitely an interesting one right there. Wicked juiced odds, probably not taking it at minus 195. But I think Jaden Daniels rushing, they've said they wanted to lower the amount of rushing Jaden Daniels does to kind of preserve him. So don't know if I love that prop as much, but Deebo Samuel definitely came out and was a key contributor to their offense in week one. I think he had 2 touchdowns himself, had basically all of the passing yards. So that was definitely a good thing to see coming out of him. The other thing I want to look at here, I want to go ahead and I want to pull up what Jaden Daniels did last game. So last game, Daniels had 233 passing yards, and they played terribly against the Giants. Now, if we swing back over here, Jaden Daniels is set at the over-under of 229. I definitely like him to hit the over here against a solid Green Bay team that we saw. I think they come out. I think he gets Terry McLaurin going. 2 receptions, 27 yards for your number one. That's not going to fly. He's definitely going to be getting him the ball a lot more. You do see Deebo here, 7 receptions, 77 yards. Then we do see Deebo on the carries. He's got 1 carry, 19 yards, 1 touchdown. So he definitely got that. The other thing I want to look at is what they put Krosky Merritt's line at for rushing. That would definitely be an interesting one. But I am liking Jaden Daniels over 229 and a half there with that seeing how bad, I mean, I don't want to say bad, they still won, but they did not play a very complete game against the Giants. Granted, they didn't have to, and they probably knew that, but still not my favorite to see, them come out and do that. Now let's take a look at this Lions Green Bay game because this was insane. Now Jordan Love only 188 passing yards on this game. Josh Jacobs 66 yards, but he did get his touchdown. Look at the carry difference though. 19 carries in this game. Granted, they were up big, so they gave him a couple extra carries, but definitely an interesting dynamic to see 27 points on the board and your quarterback only have 188 passing. I mean, they had what total? What's that team total yards? Yeah, that's not very good. 188 plus 78. I mean, that's 186 or 286. That's really not a lot of yards for this team. But, anyways, don't love his over under on 230. Lining up the same with Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to lean the Daniels over 230. Let's see kind of what we're looking at for receiving and rushing props. McLaurin did have a bad game, one, but I don't foresee them reciprocating that. I think Jane Daniels comes out and makes it a point to say, I got you. Terry McLaurin wanted, it took a little while to get re-signed. Wasn't really sure if he wanted to stay with the Commanders. I think, it was just kind of getting back into the groove of the first game. That's why we saw a little bit of a difference there. Tough thing is with Green Bay is look at all these 34 to 35 to 40 yards between four different receivers. You just have no idea who Jordan Love's going to be throwing to this game. That's why I just don't love his receiving aspect. Now, if we get over here, the over-unders, Bill at 38.5. That's what they call it. Ja'Cory Krosky likes to be called Bill. 82 last game, over 38.5 this game, right? He had 82 last game. I think that's what we saw. Now, is there something we don't know as far as Ja'Cory? But yeah, 82 last game. Did they come out with an injury or, they're kind of playing him safe?
Shooting apples.
Keep quiet. Thank you. News. Yeah, there's nothing really coming out against him. I don't know why they would have him so low. He's coming out active.
Shooting apples. Oh.
What? Stop playing an ad. Yeah, 10 yards, 80 or 10 carries, 82 yards. I gotta say that's something that's definitely going to look good. Granted, the Green Bay running defense is a lot better than the Giants, but I don't know. I mean, regressing from 80, I could see him go down to 50 or something, but 38 just seems like quite the drop. So I am kind of leaning that perception as well. Josh Jacobs at 77.5 after only getting 60 last game. I don't know if I really am in love with that. Now, if we set over here, we do know we like these special team props. Let's see what we're looking at. Over under Matt Gay, get there. Brandon McManus. I could definitely see Gay hitting 2 field goals in this game. Definitely a prop we want. Potentially could lean. Only got 3 extra points in the last game there, but that is largely in due to the fact that they didn't really need him to kick the field goals. They were just kind of running through, scoring all of the. Let me see if I can get here. Depth chart, Rockster. What the hell? Box score. Yeah, 3 extra points. That's all they kind of needed. They had 21 points, so didn't really need him to kick the field goals there. Could definitely see, Green Bay's run defense being a little bit more solid. Having him have to throw, maybe some 3 downs in on their half leads to some field goals here. Could certainly see that. But I don't know if that's really going to be an official play. It's just such a boring play. a lot of other things have to happen. If the offense has to get down there, the defense has to stop them ahead of the, not allow them to score a touchdown, and then he has to hit the field goal. Just don't love taking it. I mean, it's definitely a more solid, surefire way, but I like these options here. The under 26.5 on Green Bay is definitely what I'm going to go with for a game pick. It's an official pick. Over 229 Jaden Daniels passing yards. I do like that. I do think, if he's hitting the passing yards, McLaurin's going to be his number one target this game. And I can certainly see, Ja'Cory hitting some big yardage here on the running side of things. I don't love that we're all in on Washington for this. Knowing that it's so hard to pick who's going to get the yards. Could be Tucker Kraft, could be Dow's, could be Reed. I mean, look at these yards last game, but they have everybody at 40 yards this game because you just really have no idea. The other thing I could see, I could definitely see receptions. Don't mind the under on Debo, but there's certainly a connection there that Jaden Daniels had. 7 receptions last game is pretty insane. But look at how spread out. 2, 2, 2, 3. Love just kind of spreads the love, I guess you could say. If we look over here, I don't mind the rush attempts, the over for Krosky. I don't mind the under 10 for Daniels. That seems pretty. He was really at 8 rushing yards, then he took 3 knees. That gives technically him some rushing, or not rushing yards, but rushing attempts. He doesn't have to take a knee at the end of the game, then, that obviously will look a little different. But I think as far as 4 picks, I don't love the riding all Washington, but I think that's just where I feel comfortable in what I'm seeing with the picks here. We're going under 26.5 Green Bay. Team total, we're going over 229.5 Jaden Daniels passing yards, going over 54.5 Terry McLaurin receiving yards, and over 38.5 Corey Krosky Merritt rushing yards. Let me know if you guys are telling in the comments. See you.